Today we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting fractions. And when we add and subtract fractions, it is important to remember that our goal is to make sure that the denominators are the same. And when they are the same, we can go and add and subtract. Let's look at the first case. We have 1 over 3 plus 4 over 3. In this situation, the denominators are equal, therefore we can just add our numerators. And we end up getting 5 over 3. The question asks, please make sure to convert this to a mixed fraction. Well, you ask yourself, how many times does 3 fit into 5? The answer is 1. And we know 3 times 1 equals 3. And we know 5 minus 3 is 2 remaining. So we write the remainder here, and our fraction is out of 3. So our answer is 1 2/3. Let's look at case 2. And case 2 asks us when the denominators are not the same. So the question we're going to ask ourselves is, what is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4? And what we mean by that, if we list multiples of 3 and 4, this means we count by 3s. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and so on. And we do the same for our 4 times tables. We count by 4s. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. The lowest common multiple of 3 and 4, in this case, is the number that occurs, and we see that our answer is 12. So our job is now to convert these fractions so that they have a denominator of 12, and from there we can add the fractions. So let's take a look at 1 over 3. In order to make this a fraction out of 12, to get from 3 to 12, we need to multiply by 4. And when we multiply 1 by 4, we end up getting 4 over 12. And if we look at the other fraction, we have 3 over 4. We want to make this a fraction out of 12. Well, we need to multiply by 3. And what we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. And 3 times 3 is 9. Now we rewrite our expression as 4 over 12 plus 9 over 12. Our bottoms are the same. We add 4 plus 9. And we get 13 over 12. The question asked us, please convert this to a mixed fraction. Well, as we did in the last case, we ask ourselves, how many times does 12 go into 13? The answer is once. And 12 times 1 is 12. So 13 subtract 12 will give us 1 remaining out of 12. And there's our answer. Case number 3. in case 3, we have mixed fraction subtract a mixed fraction. There's 2 different methods that we're going to show today. The first method is our first step. We will subtract the whole numbers. And when we do that, we have 2 minus 1, and that's 1. Our second step, we will subtract the fraction parts. So we have 1 over 4, subtract 2 over 4. Our denominator is equal, therefore we can subtract 1 minus 2, which is negative 1 over 4. And if we put it all together, we have 1 and negative 1 over 4. This is the same as 1 subtract 1 over 4. And when we have 1, we can write it as a fraction over 1. And in order to subtract, I need to make the denominators the same. So if I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 4, our answer is 3 over 4. Method 2, very similar. However, in this case, our first step is we are going to convert to improper form. And when we do that, we have 2 1/4. When we convert, we need to multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. And we add that result to the numerator. So we do 8 plus 1, which is 9. So our new fraction is 9 over 4. We're going to do the same with the other fraction. We have 1 and 2/4. We do 4 times 1, and that's 4. And then we add the numerator, the result. So we have 2 plus 4, and that's 6. And we have 6 over 4. Our last step, in this case, step 2, is we are going to subtract the fractions. And our new expression is as follows. We have 9 over 4, subtract 6 over 4. Our denominators are equal, therefore we do 9 minus 6. And our answer is 3 over 4. And as you notice, our answers are the same. That doesn't look good. So method 1 and method 2 will lead to the same answer. Let's take a look at case 4. In case 4, we have mixed fractions with different denominators. So let's try two methods. In the first method, like the last case, we are going to subtract the whole numbers. And when we do this, we have 2 subtract 1, which is 1. Step 2 is now we are going to subtract the fractions. So we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. This is a little bit different than the last case. Our denominators are different this time. Therefore, we need to make them the same. We can multiply the denominator by 2 and the numerator by 2. In this case, we have our fraction 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. And our answer we eventually get to is 1 over 4. Let's try method 2 now. In method 2, we're going to begin by converting the fractions into improper form. And we have 2.5. When we convert this, you multiply 2 times 2 plus 1. You get 5 over 2. In the other fraction, we have 1 1/4. And same method, 4 times 1 is 4, plus the numerator, which is 1, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So we have 5 over 4. Our second step is now we will subtract the fractions. And now we have it in improper form. Let's rewrite them. 5 over 2, subtract 5 over 4. We can't subtract these fractions just yet, as you'll notice we have a 2 and we have a 4. So we need to make them the same denominators. And I know that if I multiply 2 times 2 will give us 4, which means that our denominator will be the same. And in order to do this, I must multiply the top by 2 as well. And our new expression will look like 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 times 2 is 4. Let's rewrite that second fraction here. And now our denominators are the same. Therefore, we subtract the numerators, and we'll end up getting 5 over 4. And I forgot to convert it to a mixed at the end, and that's the same as 1 1/4. And now that I recognize we forgot a part in method 1, we did step 1, however we forgot to include it at the end. So our answer is going to be 1 1/4. Sorry for the mix up there. And that is it for case 4. So method 1 or method 2 will work however you prefer. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you.